touchdown. Unbelievable.
Mahomes flushed out again all the way back. Turning the corner, fires downfield, caught, touchdown. Only Mahomes turns what might have been a 15-yard sack into a 27-yard touchdown.
Saquon Barkley across midfield, down the sideline, staying in bounds, and Barkley takes it all the way. 68 yards for his first NFL touchdown. McCaffrey right up the middle, and he is gone for the touchdown. 58 yards. And this is to Thomas. He's gone. Touchdown Saints.
Okay, it's time for the easiest part of any coach's job, the cut. Now, while I wasn't able to cut everyone I wanted to, I have cut a lot of you. Steven, I like your hustle. That's why it was so hard to cut you. Congratulations, the rest of you made the team. Except you and you.
God bless fantasy football. There are many things a man can do with his time. And this, better than those things.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Fantasy Football Goon. We are getting you ready for the fantasy semifinals, getting you to that championship game. I am one of your hosts, Joe Mandel, the Goon, and I'm joined, as always, by my fantasy football brothers in arms. I'm talking about Adam Schaum, the man with the plan, and John Santucci, the Tooch. Gentlemen, how you guys doing this morning? You ready for some more fantasy playoffs?
Absolutely. I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys the last couple of weeks. I know you guys have done some great shows, but yeah, I'm ready for semifinals here.
Yeah, Tooch, how about you, man?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes.
Hope everyone has a great Christmas and you're winning your playoff games. Help get you ready here on Fantasy Football Goon. Doing well, back from the dead after COVID, but ready to roll.
That's right. You were back last week, man. You chugged it right on through it, so we appreciate that. And, of course, a huge thanks to friend of the show, Steven Zimmerman, for filling in for a couple weeks, jumped in, and was a great addition. Little pro tip for everybody, stick around for the credits because his Christmas song, his pop-punk Christmas song, will be playing during the credits today. So make sure you tune in for that. That'll be fun. But anyway, guys, we're answering questions.
Football, NFL football all weekend, plus college football playoffs. 2 games tonight, bunch of games on Sunday, and 3 games on Christmas Day. Man, you can't ask for a better Christmas than having 3 NFL games.
It's football palooza, let's be honest. But I do want to point out one of the games this evening, Tooch, is a Peacock exclusive. You can only watch on Peacock. Bills versus Chargers. We'll be talking about a lot of players in that game that people are going to want to start, but just wanted to point out to all our viewers, this game can only be watched on Peacock, which I think is strange.
Yeah.
I have Peacock, but
I have it too.
I get all the games, so.
I think they did this last year too. I remember there was one game on Peacock randomly out of nowhere, and it's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, and it's the one where a lot of people are going to have fantasy players to watch, of course.
But, yeah, exactly. It's the one with all the offense in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, a good chunk of it anyway.
Yeah.
But reminding everybody tuning in, we have a lot of new people tuning in. There's a lot of numbers here watching. We can see everyone tuning in. Get your questions in. We will answer them all the way up. Well, I guess there's no kickoff until later, but we're answering them basically for the next hour and 15 minutes or so. I should probably change that to say up to kickoff for the next to the next hour. But
we'll be here 4 hours. If we're
not doing a 4-hour show. I'm gonna change that as we're talking. But get your questions in. We are gonna answer them.
I got a question. Really, I got a running backs question.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Raheem Mostert, Josh Jacobs, Gus Edwards, Austin Eckler. Pick 2 or 3.
All right, say it one more time.
Mostert.
Okay.
Jacobs, Eckler, and Gus.
Mostert and Jacobs, if healthy, for me.
That's what I got.
I would agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a tough one, guys. There's a lot of
great problem there, too.
I mean, Gus has got a tough matchup against the 49ers, but Keaton Mitchell when Keaton Mitchell wasn't in, Gus was racking up the touchdowns and touches.
Yeah.
You know, and then Eckler, man, he's struck. You know, they're trying out. That's the thing with the Chargers. They want to see what the season's over. They know what they have with Austin Eckler. They're trying out these other guys. You know, I forget the name. Josh Kelly, is that the other guy? And
Yeah.
I forget the other guy. Spiller, is that?
Spiller,
No,
yeah. Spiller was the one they drafted last year.
Right. So I mean, I'm kind of like loath to start Austin Eckler, especially even though Easton Stick, you know, has been targeting the running back a lot. I just don't know how much play Eckler's going to get.
Eckler's a sit for me, man. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
Eckler isn't even starting himself on his team. If Eckler had himself on a team, he wouldn't start himself, I don't think.
To me, Eckler and Edwards are the riskiest out of the group there. So that's why, you know, you don't want to take risks right now. So
yeah. And if Jacobs can't go, but it looks like he will, but I would plug in Edwards.
Yeah, that's tough, but I think you're right with where we're leaning there.
How about any free agent pickups, man? Anybody out there you guys would?
Love Joe Flacco this week against Houston. I mean, he's a guy available in a good chunk of leagues.
Yeah,
Tooch is unfortunately going against him in the playoffs.
He's played so well. He's scored like 25 fantasy points a week since he started.
Can you guys imagine, man, you know, 3 months ago, we're like, yeah, just wait till we're telling you to start Joe Flacco in the playoffs.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. They're like,
Joe Flacco's
not even got a team. You know, it's like, just wait.
A couple questions coming in real quick. We'll dive in. George Play 01. Hey guys, for flex non-PPR, Waddle, Ty Chandler, Warren, or Antonio Gibson? Flex non-PPR.
Man,
I'm probably going to go Waddle here. It's close, but I think I'll go Waddle.
For me, and then I'm probably going Waddle and Warren.
He said for one flex.
For one, I'm sorry. Yeah, Waddle.
For the flex.
Over non-PPR as well. Yeah.
So you're touchdown dependent. I don't know, man. I kind of like Chandler this week. You know, he's been getting a lot of touches, you know, with
Detroit.
We know what's going on with Tyreek Hill.
Detroit defense hasn't been nearly as good the second half of the year.
Yep. Tua or Fields, man. I'm on. I think I play Fields. But
I'd take Fields over Tua this week.
I mean, Arizona's been giving up a lot of points to the quarterback position.
Oh man, ton.
Fields is going to be probably a top 5 play today. I think.
Yeah.
Great question, George. Keep them coming. Everyone here, get your questions in, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We see them all, and I can pull them up here on the screen. We will be answering questions for the next hour or so. So keep on getting them in here. In the interim, we're going to bring you guys our starts and sits. In addition, whatever else comes to mind, maybe a little inactive conversation. But we were just talking about Waddle, guys, and I wanted to see what was going on with Tyreek Hill. There's officially no inactives listed, but it sounds like he's probably going to give it a go from what I'm seeing, right?
Yeah, Mike McDaniel said he limited for the last 2 days, I guess, and he said he feels pretty good about it, but he couldn't say for certain. But Tyreek Hill's got that 2,000 yards in his head, man. I don't think he's missing another game.
Yeah.
And plus, they need him. They need to keep winning.
Exactly. They can get that 1 seed still if they could win out.
The same thing with like Derrick Henry. He's going for a consecutive season with, is it 1,000 or 1,500 yards rushing, something like that.
Oh,
Craziness.
I didn't realize that one.
Absolute craziness in this league. But guys, let's dive into our starts and sits. We might as well dive in.
Hey, did you guys see right before we started the show, Bears signed Cairo Santos 4-year extension?
I did not see that.
I just picked him up and starting him against the Cardinals in Barnum League.
4 years. It's a lot for a kicker.
Yeah. So
what do they pay him?
9.5 guaranteed.
Nice.
Wow.
That's pretty good for 4 years.
Not bad, yeah.
Yeah. Less than 2.5 a year.
Papi Santos?
Yeah, I like him a lot, man. He's been very consistent since we got him.
Yep.
Santos Claus. Yeah, see what I did there? Merry Christmas, everybody.
A lot of dad jokes.
But that is a dad joke for sure. Let's get into our starts and sits. We'll dive into a lot of us have similar guys, so I am gonna go
What do you guys think? Am I crazy considering Fields over Dak? I have Dak in my lineup, but I think that's really close right now, Fields and Dak this week.
Man,
it is close, but I think Dak. I would still go Dak.
I don't know, man. I hate Dak on the road. He's just not as good.
That's my only concern.
Fields has such a juicy matchup.
I certainly hope you guys are right because I'm going against CeeDee Lamb in one of my semifinals, so I hope you're right.
I also have Lamb, so I've been it's been Dak and Lamb stacked for me. So
yep.
But I'm going against Puka, so I already got that against me. So I need the big play. So I think that I don't know.
Puka had a big day, huh?
Yeah.
What did he put up points wise?
In this, it was 29.5, I think, on ESPN.
And I forgot a guillotine. Are you still alive?
I've got 5th.
You're in 5th place right now?
No, I got cut at 5th.
Oh,
I got Jamar Chase got hurt, and Jefferson got hurt, both in the same game. And
injury bug.
I got 3 guys got hurt all in the same game.
Who's still alive? Do we know?
My buddy Chasing Greatness is still alive.
Yeah.
And DJ is still alive.
Okay.
And I'm not sure who the third one is.
Yeah.
Dutch Mafia?
Dutch Mafia got beat out before me.
Okay.
I think they were 6th or 7th.
Okay. Nice. We got more questions, huh, Joe?
I lost audio, boys, so keep talking.
All right. I'll flash questions up there. Metcalf, Rice, or Bijan? Tough. I mean, I cannot trust Bijan, even though he's got a nice matchup.
Yeah.
But Rashee Rice has been a beast. He's had double-digit targets, 7 catches. He's got a great matchup against the Raiders. And then you got DK Metcalf, who I assume you never take out, and they're on the road against
I'm back.
The Seahawks are on the road against I forget who they're playing.
Seahawks versus Tennessee.
Yeah.
They're in Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. But Tennessee doesn't have the best. For me, it's probably Metcalf.
You can't bench Metcalf.
Then
He's
Rice
proved that to you many times.
Yep.
The other guys haven't had the. We just saw Metcalf with 3 touchdown, 30-something point game 2 weeks ago. So
Bijan had a 1-point game last week, guys. So
I can't.
Negative point. I love negative points in Barroom League. He got me negative against Tooch. Against Tooch, it killed me.
Ridiculous.
That's why I lost it. I lost Tooch.
He was a first-round draft pick for many, many people. It's just stupid that they don't use him. The next coach that comes in there, he's gonna freaking go off.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Good question here from Thomas.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thomas wants to know Palmer, Eckler, or Jacoby for flex.
I think Thomas is in trouble. I'm just saying. For me, it's
Thomas. There's got to be something else out there. I hope for you. But
for me, it's Jacoby Myers. But
I would say out of the 3, it's Myers for sure.
Only because they could be playing from behind, and O'Connell's got to throw.
I'd probably play Eckler out of those.
Yeah, Eckler would be my second choice.
Yeah, I'd probably play Eckler.
Yeah,
I think Eckler gets shut down
but
today.
I'm with Tooch. I don't feel good about any of it, Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas, let us know who's on waivers because I think Joshua Palmer could potentially be a drop here, but we'll see. Let us know wideout wise. We'll talk about some more sleepers here in a bit. Liam wants to know full PPR bench 1: James Conner, Calvin Ridley, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs. I would bench James Conner out of all those. I think he's going to get shut down today.
Yep, he's going to have a tough time
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right?
Used to being very good.
Is Taylor health? Taylor's health. I mean, Taylor's just coming off that thumb injury, right, or hand injury.
Yeah,
right. Is that what he had? A thumb or finger?
Yeah, I think it was a thumb.
And then Jacobs, hasn't practiced all week. He should play. It's what, Sunday night?
Yeah, Liam, I think you really got to monitor who's starts before
Calvin
the game.
Ridley's got a juicy matchup, though, man.
Against
the Tampa Bay pass defense, but
obviously you got to make sure these guys are playing. But as long as they're all playing, I think James Conner is the sit for me.
Yeah, the Bears' run defense has been great.
Yeah, Thomas said he picked up Roshan, and this is one of my weak points in my lineup this week. Well, I'm not starting Roshan.
I think you got to go with Eckler.
Yeah, I mean,
like Adam said,
boomer bust. I mean, I don't know. I still think I would go Jacoby Myers. I have a good feeling about him.
They didn't play Eckler because they were getting blown out versus the Raiders. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they come back a little bit versus the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, I
Adam,
think in that situation, I think you just play your stud there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Did we go through all your QBs yet, Adam?
No, we haven't done any of them yet.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, we've kind of talked about these guys, though. I like Fields and Dak. That was my question I had about which one to play, because I had both of those guys on multiple teams, actually, this season. So, it's been Dak, obviously, most of the year with the Fields injuries, but I love both of them. Fields with the amazing matchup versus Arizona, who just gives up points to the quarterback and wide receivers like crazy. So it's just, if Fields and DJ Moore don't have a good game this week, I will be absolutely shocked. I mean, I expect a huge game from both of them. And then Dak Prescott, I know it's on the road, but I still expect him to bounce back after last week. I think Cowboys have a lot to prove. We've seen Miami really struggle versus any decent team this year. Also for Dallas as well.
Dallas struggle against good teams too.
I actually heard yesterday they have 20 wins between the two of them. One of them's versus a 500 team.
Yeah.
Wow.
Both teams with 10 wins, and only one game has been won versus 500 teams. So somebody's going to get number two, or there's going to be a second one this time around. But I think Dak puts up a good game. You hope for a shootout here and a lot of fantasy points on both sides of that. So,
yeah, for sure.
And same thing with Baker Mayfield. I like him. We saw him just have the game of his career last week. And just like Tooch just mentioned, it's a juicy matchup versus Jacksonville defense, who isn't covering anybody lately. Baker Mayfield has a lot of weapons at his disposal. Finally got Godwin into the mix the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So, I look for Baker to keep that rolling. And I kind of think they're going to beat Jacksonville, honestly, in that game.
I have a feeling, too. We'll see. But that's all great call-outs there. Adam, we got a great question here from Vito. Full PPR, pick one, London, Amari, or Godwin.
I like all three this week. But
Joe Flacco loves Amari Cooper. He's been targeted incredibly heavy. He's been a monster since Flacco took over. I don't think you can bench Amari Cooper in any way, shape, or form. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. For me, it's either Amari or Godwin. I love Godwin's matchup. Jacksonville plays the fourth most amount of zone coverage. And Godwin is your little zone buster, one of the guys that just kills zone coverage. He's always open. But like Joe said, Amari Cooper, man, he's got that
The Houston secondary is not good.
He has got that high ceiling for Amari Cooper. But, for me, it's either Amari or Godwin.
Yeah.
I love London's got a great matchup, too, today.
Yeah. London, though, you can't do Drake London, just like you can't do Bijan Robinson, just like you can't do Kyle Pitts. There's no way you can go to the fantasy playoffs and put one of them in your lineup. Drake London he could be one of the best receivers in the NFL on a different team right now. The guy is immensely talented. He's huge. He can be dominant. But Joe can tell you for years and years, I never say play Amari Cooper. I'm 100% against Amari Cooper forever. Never will have him on my team. But if there's a time to play him, I think it's today or tomorrow. Joe Flacco will sling the hell out of it, we know, to Amari Cooper as many times as he has to, especially even if they get behind, if they're ahead, it doesn't matter. Joe Flacco doesn't care if he's got 5 interceptions on the board. He's going to keep slinging it.
That's right.
Okay. We saw last week when they tied the Bears, that play to Amari Cooper. It didn't look like a lot, but when they showed that in slow motion, that was a phenomenal pass he threw to Amari Cooper. I mean, that thing missed like 2 Bears defenders by a hair through a window, and just perfect pass to him. And then Amari Cooper did the rest, poor tackling and just down the sideline. But Joe Flacco's fearless, and I love Chris Godwin and Baker Mayfield, but I'm playing Amari Cooper because he's got huge upside.
Love that breakdown, Adam. I love the passion there. And for you to say play Amari Cooper,
that's what I mean. I gotta get in on him this time. You know how I'm always against him, so
yeah. I love it, man. Great stuff there, bud. Let's see. I'll go to my QB starts here real quick. I love Jordan Love today against Carolina. Maybe I'm kind of crazy for saying it out loud, but Carolina's defense is terrible. The Packers offense seems to be getting it together. They have Aaron Jones, who's fully healthy. He looked good last week. Carolina can't stop the run. That's the one thing you got to worry about, though, is that are they just going to run the ball down their throats? But either way, I think Jordan Love is going to get his fantasy points in today. A guy available in a lot of leagues, Jordan Love. So you can go and pick him up if you need help at the quarterback position. Love Jared Goff today against Minnesota. They've been playing much better football as a whole offensively. Last week, I think he threw, 5 touchdown passes or something like that. So Goff, it looks to be on his game. So I'm looking for Goff to have a good day. And then, of course, Joe Flacco. We're just talking about him. He's available. I think last time I checked, he was in like 75% of leagues he was available, something like that. So look at Joe Flacco to be a guy you can plug in and feel good about. I would even consider, and again, this is probably crazy, but I would consider starting a guy like Joe Flacco over a Tua against Dallas. I know that's I know it's what Gaines is doing against Tooch. He's starting Flacco over Tua, which might end up being a genius move. It might end up not, but I kind of like the upside that Flacco has today. So that's why he's on this list for me.
Yeah, I think Gaines is probably wishing he had looked in his box and taken some of my Brock Purdy trade offers I had given him there, warned him about those two matchups, and he saw him like the day after the deadline and was like, "Oh my gosh, no!"
Yeah.
And now he's got Joe Flacco against Tooch. So
I like Tua today. Tomorrow.
Joe Flacco is great today as well, but
yeah,
I think anybody'd rather have Brock Purdy or something.
I think that Tua, the Dolphins and Dallas game, that should be. I think it'll be high scoring. I mean, you have so much star power.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree. But like last week, on paper, when you look at the box score, it looks like Tua would have had a big game, and he didn't.
No,
he had like 16 points, and the Dolphins scored 30-something points, I believe, and dominated. Tua only had one touchdown and barely over 200 yards.
Yep. And Dallas got dominated last week, so I think they're going to be coming out hot.
They're firing out.
Yeah. So he may be forced to pass more this week, and that could help Tua a lot. You could be right about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to give some inobvious ones. But Dallas does have that ferocious pass rush.
But their defense overall doesn't play good against good offenses, really. So, this one could be wide open.
Yep.
I think I'm with you, Adam. So, and Tooch also has Fields and Baker Mayfield.
I love Fields today, man. I think tomorrow. I think running and throwing. I love the prop to Justin over 1.5 touchdowns tomorrow. I think he gets a couple touchdowns. And then, Baker Mayfield has been just outstanding the past few weeks. And he's got a nice matchup versus Jacksonville's defense. The pass defense hasn't been that great. They've got some good pass rushers on that defensive line. And they do stop the run, but Mayfield's, running backs are good out of the backfield, catching the pass. So I think it all lines up towards a nice day for Baker Mayfield. Wish I had him, could start him over who I'm forced to go with Jake Browning. Justin Herbert's out. So, yeah.
It's
either Jake or Russell Wilson,
Yeah, Russ has got a tough matchup today too.
Yeah,
so
Russ has got a tough matchup. Like, who would you guys choose, Browning or Russ?
I'd probably go Browning today, personally.
Yeah, I'd play Browning. I got him as a sleeper.
Yep.
That could work out for you, Tooch. We hope it does, man.
Yeah.
But diving into running back starts of the week, why don't we start things off with Tooch? What do you got at running back?
I got Kenneth Walker, who's been outstanding the past few weeks, and Zeke. Look, Denver's terrible against the run, just terrible. Zeke, I think, should have a big day. And like I said, Derrick Henry's going for this next straight season of 1,000 yards or whatever he's at right now, 1,000 or 1,500 yards. So, I like his matchup versus Seattle. They don't do that great of a job against run. Tennessee, since they lost Jeffrey Simmons, their run defense has not been good. That's why I like Kenneth Walker. So, Gaines head-to-head with the Gaines report. Merry Christmas, Gaines.
Morning, Gaines.
Morning, Gaines. Appreciate you tuning in, man.
Yeah.
We're throwing down the knowledge here. Great picks here by the Tooch. Let's see what else we got for running back picks. I'll go with mine real quick. Love James Cook. He had his career day last week against Dallas. He gets the best matchup he could possibly ask for in the fantasy playoffs, going against the Chargers, who couldn't stop anybody on the ground or through the air, really. Yep. James Cook is a huge part of that offense. Now that they have a new offensive coordinator, this guy has been the guy that I talked about in the first week of the season that I thought was going to be fantasy running back number one. Not quite there, but I mean, he might end the season on a really hot streak. I think he will. James Cook for me is RB number one this week against the Chargers.
Yeah.
Love Kenneth Walker, like Tooch was saying. I think all three of us have him listed as a start. I mean, he's healthy. Tennessee stinks, and he's going to get the volume. It's all you could ask for a RB1. And Aaron Jones, I haven't had him on this list for quite some time. Listen, he got a heavy usage last week. Carolina, if you're going to beat Carolina, you have to smoke them on the ground, and they're going to have to use Aaron Jones. So I think Aaron Jones has a huge day today. Finishes probably, I'm going to say top 5 running back, but definitely top 10. I think you got to get Aaron Jones in your lineups if you have him.
Yeah.
High hopes for Aaron Jones today.
I like that because, man, he looked great last week at the start of that Tampa game. And then Tampa just got so far ahead, they stopped running the ball with Aaron Jones. He stopped getting the carries. But to start that game out, he looked awesome. Like, as good as he had looked all season. He was fast. He was making cuts. So, you know they're not going to get behind by Carolina like they did versus Tampa. So, I like Aaron Jones a lot this weekend,
too.
I would have put Cook in mine but to me, since the last few weeks, since Brady took over play calling in Buffalo, he's a must start.
Right.
The only reason I listed him here too, just because I was looking in like sleeper and
he's
like
no, people
ESPN.
Aren't starting him.
Yeah, he's like only started in like 82% of leagues, which I think is bonkers.
Yeah, that's crazy. He should be a must start.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought about like Tooch said about putting him in or not because obviously you're going to start him, and then you also, to me, you've got to figure in like at this point the teams that are left that are playing aren't looking for other. James Cook's probably in their lineup. They've been using him and gotten him this far, and they're not looking on the waiver wire for streamers and stuff now. You're pretty set. There's not a lot of moves being made anymore.
We talked about that already, Gaines.
What did he say?
Yeah, he said, let's talk about surging Flacco versus.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, from our understanding, Gaines is Tyreek is probably going to play. It's not official yet, but the way they're talking that he's probably going to give it a go. But like, nonetheless, we were just talking about before you hopped on that we think, we don't hate the Flacco over Tua thing, but I don't think you can go wrong either way.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
Flacco could very easily outscore Tua. Tyreek Hill might be late to the game. He's got 7 houses to deliver presents to his kids.
That's right.
7 different houses to deliver to all his kids. It
might be a little late Santa Claus
to the game.
And he wants to get those 2,000 yards. I mean, let's be honest. He wants to play, and they need him to play. Where were we? We were just finished up my running backs. Let's get to Adam's running back starts.
All right. Well, Kenneth Walker's one of them. You guys already talked about him. I love him today. Yep. I like Jahmyr Gibbs versus Minnesota today. Minnesota's defense is really good. I don't think David Montgomery's going to have a lot of success on the ground. He could fall in the end zone and stuff still, but I don't think he's going to get a lot of yards on the ground. So
I hope you're right.
I think they're going to need Gibbs
going against him.
I'm playing Gibbs this week in the semifinal.
Okay,
you're using Gibbs.
I'm using Gibbs. Yeah.
I think he's going to get a lot of catches in this game. I think they're going to need to throw the ball a lot to him out of the backfield there. So I really like him for PPR formats.
Yeah.
And then Joe Mixon today. I mean, to me, Joe Mixon has gotten better since the injuries to Joe Burrow. He's getting more touches. They're leaning on him more, and he's stepped up so far. I mean, they're still winning games since Burrow's went out. They're ahead in the playoffs right there of that race. I think versus Pittsburgh, they're going to need Joe Mixon all day to get it done. So I think he's the main guy for the Bengals today in that game. I'm not too scared of the Pittsburgh defense. They're good, but it's mostly their pass rush. So I think Mixon can counteract that.
Yeah, no, I love that. Mixon has been great for me in one of my other leagues, but I was 8-7 and I lost playoffs on a tiebreaker. I got kicked out, so that's unfortunate. But anyway, we got a good question here from Quinn Green. Trevor Lawrence or Jake Browning? We were just talking about Jake Browning. Tooch and Adam, how do you guys feel about this one?
Man,
the Jaguars are against who?
They're playing the Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah, the Tampa Bay game. Yeah.
Both guys are on the road.
I'm probably gonna play T-Law on that one.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's no Jamar Chase.
You got Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins.
Should be a lower scoring game, Cincinnati-Pittsburgh. So I lean towards Trevor Lawrence, but I don't hate Browning. I mean, it's probably about the same.
I was going to say they're both pretty close. I'd probably give Lawrence like one spot above them. They're probably going to have similar stat lines, if I'm being completely honest. But great question, Quinn. A-Chain or Ty Chandler?
Man, that is tough. I mean, I think touches, you're going to get more touches with Chandler. But
Yeah.
A-Chain has that breakaway
Explodability.
Yeah, but he's questionable too, though.
I played Chandler. We haven't seen really anything from A-Chan since he came back from the last injury.
Yeah, he hasn't
He's got a toe
points.
injury. Yeah, I think I'm going with Chandler just because the amount of touches probably.
Take the guaranteed touches in the playoffs games.
Yeah,
He's
Gaines
healthy
asked
too.
if Trevor's still limited. I believe he is, but
He's not cleared the protocol yet. Yeah.
Just keep an eye on he's listed as questionable, I believe, for this game still. So
he has been practicing though.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence was questionable. I think I have the inactive list pulled up. Hang on.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence hasn't been cleared from the protocol yet, but he's practicing.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he'll probably go, but you don't know that for sure. Great question here from Matthew. Hey guys, how's your day going? Pick 3: Devontae, Sutton, Addison, Noah Brown, or OBJ half-point PPR.
I'm going the first
That's
3.
Tough
For me.
Yep.
You can't bench Adams.
No, you can't bench Adams. That's what I was
Adams
saying.
and Addison are for sure.
Yeah, Addison's been so hot. Hot Addison, you know.
Yeah. And then you take Sutton for the touchdowns.
Sutton get the touchdowns. Russell Wilson loves throwing to Sutton.
Noah Brown, CJ Stroud's out again.
Yeah. And then OBJ is going up against
But Noah Brown did have a really good connect with
Davis Mills.
What's the backup?
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills? I'm trying to remember who the heck the backup is. He looked good with him.
No, they played Case Keenum the other day.
Did they?
Yes, it was Case Keenum. He had a good rapport with him. So
yeah,
with that said, I'm still going Adams, Sutton, Addison for sure.
Yeah.
Good question though, Matthew.
Yeah.
Look who's here. It's Foster. What's up, Foster?
Foster.
Dylan Burns. My opponent has CeeDee Lamb. It is a 4-point touchdown league. Do I start Dak against Miami or Fields against Arizona?
Man.
The great question, Dak or Fields?
Yep,
Is it 6-point passing touchdown and 4-point receiving, or is it just 4 points in general, Dylan? Curious.
So that's 4-point passing and 6 receiving.
Okay, and 6 rushing too.
I mean, the Dak might counteract the CD, but then if Dallas gets shut down, then you're screwed.
I'm still on Fields. May's got the soft defense.
Oh, he said it's 4 points in general, all across the board.
All across the board.
I'll play Dak then.
Then I would go Dak to counteract CD. That's what I would do.
Yep. Yeah.
You gotta play chess when your opponent plays checkers.
Yep. There you go.
That's a great question, Dylan. That's
go
a tactical
Dak.
question. Gaines report: Bears D or Miami D, both are surging, but matchup says Bears. Is semifinals a time to trust the Bears?
The Bears all the way for me, man. They've been getting turnovers every week.
Look at this. Look at this, Gaines. Your opponent is giving you advice on who to start against him.
Bears have 2 interceptions in like 4 straight games.
Yeah. The Bears D.
We appreciate you, Dylan. Thanks for tuning in, man. We do this every week. Thanks for coming in.
Miami
and everyone that's
not
here.
As good as recently. I don't know. I'm not impressed with them. I mean, the Titans. What's a kid's name? Will Levis. Torch the Miami
Levis
defense.
looks good.
Yeah.
Real quick, Dylan, we appreciate you. We appreciate everyone in the chat. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Miami D's had a touchdown though,
and hit that like
Bears
button
had
as
last
well.
Week too, though.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just checking. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe button. It helps us do what we keep doing, so we appreciate that.
Miami defense. They had a touchdown in back-to-back weeks. I think the Bears had a touchdown last week with Tremaine Edmonds, right?
Yeah, I mean, even
6. Yeah.
I'm still not trusting Miami this week. I'm not.
I love the Bears defense recently, man. I've been scoring. Look at their past totals. It's like double-digit points.
Bears D looks great, so I would say Bears. Vito, Jonathan Taylor or Zeke? I have Zeke more with the matchup, but Moss is out, so JT should get most of the snaps. I think we lost Adam for a minute, so
It's tough, man. JT or Zeke? Huh? I mean, I love Zeke's matchup this week, man. And Taylor's going to, let's see, it's Indianapolis. They're playing Atlanta, right?
Yeah,
Atlanta's been pretty good against the run, although not lately.
I mean, Zeke's got a great matchup this week. I mean,
really
I
does.
love.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Zeke against Denver. I mean, I think it's really hard to bench him because Stevenson is out for the immediate future, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
So Zeke's going to get all the snaps against Denver. I don't know. It's probably a hot take, but I'd probably go with Zeke against a terrible rush defense. Is that
It's
ludicrous
tough,
to
man.
say, Adam? I don't know if you can hear us yet. I guess not. Tooch, what do you think?
Man, it's tough. I mean, I'd probably go Zeke. He's got such a good matchup. They're at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is it Denver or is it in New England?
It's
in Denver,
the New England game.
Yeah.
The New England game is it's in Denver.
So Zeke on the road, and they're both on the road, I think, right? Indianapolis is in Atlanta.
Atlanta, yeah.
Give me I don't know. Give me Taylor, I guess. It's hard for me to bench Jonathan Taylor, but I love Zeke today or tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow.
I'm probably in the minority, but I think I would take Zeke over JT this week. Adam, I don't know if you can hear us, but is that crazy?
I'm back here. Yeah, sorry about that. What are you saying, JT or Zeke? I like Zeke this week a lot.
Yeah,
I'll take Zeke over most.
I think I would go Zeke too because he's getting all the carries.
Yeah, I mean he's going to get over 20 for sure.
Yep. I don't think you go wrong with either, to be honest.
Yeah. Should I start Debo or Cortland Sutton? Debo. The answer for me is always Debo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Debo's like going insane right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Baltimore's defense has been beatable through the air. So
yeah, and Cortland Sutton, you're counting on touchdowns.
And Debo might have 3 touchdowns and over 200 yards for all we know. So, I mean, the way Debo and Brock have been linking up lately, he's unbenchable. Thank you, Gaines. Appreciate it.
Good luck,
Jarrett, Waddle or Sutton? For me, it's Waddle.
Just more targets for Waddle.
I mean, is it a PPR league, Jared? I'm curious. I mean, either way, I'd probably go in Waddle, but if it's non-PPR, Sutton might be the more likely touchdown guy, but PPR leagues, 100% Waddle. Waddle or Jones, Cleveland or Eagles defense, Monty or Ty Chandler? It's a 3-part question from Jay.
Jones is, I don't know which Jones he's talking about. Is it Aaron Jones, Julio Jones? Is there any?
Let us know, Jay. I'm pretty sure you're talking about Aaron Jones.
Probably Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Eagles defense is I don't think you can start them in any capacity right now.
Yeah, for me, it's Cleveland. Cleveland is the best defense in the NFL. Montgomery or Chandler? I'll take Chandler.
Give me Waddle, Cleveland, and Chandler. Yeah.
Yep.
We're aligned there. I agree. I think it's going to be a Jahmyr Gibbs game for sure.
I do like the Eagles defense this week and next week, though.
Nice.
They have great matchups.
Jared answered it's half-point PPR. So, yep. Definitely go with who are we talking about?
For me, let's
Waddle.
see. What is it? Gaines' question there. I have Flowers as a sit. He's got a foot issue or foot injury.
I don't know. He does, but San Fran's secondary is not as good as advertised. So they're going to get the ball out quick. Flowers.
I had him as a start last week, and he had 1 point. He's questionable this week. 2 targets, 1 reception, 7 receiving yards last week. He should have crushed last week.
San Francisco's secondary is not their strength, so
Yeah, I think you can trust him. It's just a matter of
Not
his
me.
health.
It's a sit for me. Week 10, 49ers allowed the fourth lowest PPR points targets to perimeter wide receivers.
You're not going to get a big game out of him, I don't
Yeah.
think.
For me, I think he's on my sit list, right?
I don't know. I think so. But
he's
no,
practiced, but he's
it's a tough one, Gaines. I mean, I like him, but I know
if you're playing him against me, start him.
Yeah. The Joker, Sutton or Debo, definitely Debo, 100%.
Yeah, Debo.
He says he has CMC too. For what respect?
CMC you start every week, no matter what.
I mean,
he gets a touchdown every week, man.
I think he's saying that because, like, either way, you start Debo over Sutton, even regardless if you have CMC.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. But yeah, I still start both of them.
He said, start 3. Jarrett, what are we starting 3 of? Oh, here it is. Sorry. Gibbs, Hall, Elliott, Chandler, Connor. Elliott, Gibbs, and Chandler for me.
Elliott, definitely. But Breece Hall is playing against the Commanders. I think they're like terrible defense.
Yeah, Gibbs, Elliott, and Chandler.
That's where I land too.
Like what happened to Breece Hall towards the end of the season? You know,
the Jets quarterback situation.
Yeah. Some people just line up and stop Hall.
Yeah, there's no threat.
Love it, boys. Let's get back to our starts and sits. I'm trying to remember where we left off. We got 2 running backs.
Next year, Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson are going to be underdrafted by a mile, man, and they're going to be stars with good quarterback play.
Yeah. All right, we got through our running backs. Let's get into our wide receiver starts. We'll lead things off with Adam.
DJ Moore today versus Arizona. We talked about Fields, and I mentioned Moore earlier as well. He's had a huge season. When Fields has played, I mean, they have huge connection there, tons of targets, tons of yards every week. Probably the worst secondary in the league and maybe the worst defense in the league right now. So we all love Fields today, and we love DJ Moore. And then give me Mike Evans to bounce back with a big game this week. He's had a couple of smaller games for him this year because he's had an awesome season. Once again, is this 10 straight years now of 1,000 yards, they said, to start his career? Is the only one besides Jerry Rice to do so.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, man, just so underrated. And anyway, he had a touchdown, I think, last week, but still only 3 or 4 catches, I believe. And I look for him to have a big bounce back game versus that Jacksonville defense. And then we talked about Rashee Rice earlier as well. He's just been a monster, eating up the targets for about 3 or 4 weeks. He's finally looks like he's separated himself as the number 1 guy there, and he stands out now above the others as they actually have a good receiver now rather than just 5 mediocre guys. So he's the Mahomes go-to guy right now, and nobody's too afraid of Las Vegas defense. They get some turnovers, but they're not that tough overall. So I love all those guys this week.
Great picks, Adam. All guys that you should be able to trust this week for sure.
Yep.
How about you, Tooch?
I got Rashee Rice too, man. The guy's double-digit targets. He's had
all 3 of us have Rashee Rice.
Yeah, he's had like 7 catches this past few, minimum 7 catches this past few weeks. And T. Higgins, man, without Jamar Chase, you just see how good he is. You know, this guy's a beast. And then I like I said, Godwin Joe's zone beater versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville runs the 4th highest amount of zone coverage. So like Godwin, he had a monster game. Like 14 targets, 10 catches, 155 yards.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you can sit that.
Guy's a world beater for sure right now. All killer options, Tooch. I also have Rashee Rice for obvious reasons. Target machine, that whole shebang. I like the other wide receiver in Cincinnati, Tyler Boyd today.
I struggled with that, Joe. I like both of them today.
I struggled with one of my leagues where I have to go Tyler Boyd or Aaron Jones, and I decided to go with the higher volume and Aaron Jones. Yeah. Hopefully it pays off. We'll see what happens. I need a boomer bust, so we'll see if it works for me. And then, of course, Amari Cooper, we talked about him. I think he's wide receiver 1 this week. I really do. I think the way that he's going to be locked on with Joe Flacco, I think he's going to win people some leagues this year with the matchups that they have. And with the luck of getting Joe Flacco, it's amazing. A guy who's just sitting at home on his couch, and now he makes a team honestly, a Super Bowl contender if they can keep on keep the offense going because the defense is a top defense in the league. So I think these guys are all gonna all the guys we talked about are all guys that need to be in lineups this week. It's just absolutely crazy that we are that close to the fantasy championships. We're about a week away, so get it done, and that's what we're here for, to help you get there. While we were talking, we got another one from the Joker. Last one at QB. Do you go Dak, Tua, or Trevor?
Dak for me.
Dak.
Yeah, I'm going Dak too. I think he's more likely to have a boom explosion game, easily throw for 4 or 5 touchdowns today, and could rush for 1. Great question, Joker. Keep them coming, guys. We're going to be answering questions here for about another 15 minutes or so. So get them in here before we get out of here. We're moving on to our tight end starts of the week. I'm going to lead things off. Love Jake Ferguson against Miami today.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the guy's a red zone threat. I mean, Dak loves him. He just continues to get it done week after week. The definition of like solid 10, at least 10 points almost every week. So I take that. And I love Miami. They're not great against the tight ends. So I think Jake's going to have a nice day. Isaiah Likely has really improved. I'm very impressed with what I've seen out of him. I know it's a tough matchup against the 49ers, but the 49ers are not great against the tight end. Likely is going to see a lot of single coverage in this game for many reasons. So I think Likely is going to be heavily targeted in this game. And tight end number 1 on my board, and will continue to be for the immediate future, is Trey McBride. He just is the future of the position. I mean, there's only a couple guys that I think are going to be like Gronk-esque, and Trey McBride certainly gives me Gronk vibes. The Bears, not good against the tight end.
Bottom 4.
Bottom 4 against the tight end. And, of course, I mean, let's be honest, Kyler Murray just loves Trey McBride, and I can't see how you couldn't. The volume he's getting is the volume of a wide receiver 1. The amount of targets he's getting are the volume of wide receiver 1. Trey McBride is a must start every week, and he's going to win some people some championships if you were lucky enough to get him off waivers about 8 weeks ago. So,
yep.
What do you guys got? Adam, what do you got for tight end?
Trey McBride's awesome. Sam Laporte is better. Sam Laporte is going to be the best tight end for the next 10 years in the NFL.
My guy,
For sure.
Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, Sam Laporte is fucking amazing, man. So is McBride, though. But anyways, I love Isaiah Likely, like you mentioned. He's seeing basically Mark Andrews' usage over the last 3 weeks of what Andrews was getting. So he's right back up there. He's getting down the field targets. Lamar's looking his way. Versus San Francisco, they may need him to get underneath and catch some short passes and try to run after the catch for San Francisco. So, David Njoku, we've been talking about Joe Flacco all day. And
100 yards last week.
Yeah, he's like the number 1 tight end over the last few weeks, besides that Laporte huge 3-touchdown game. Njoku's just been dominating. Flacco, we talked about him over and over. He's going to throw it 1,000,000 times. It's just a great matchup all around. They should score points in that game. And then Evan Ingram, he's on pace, record-setting pace for targets for a tight end this year. He finally got in the end zone last week or 2 weeks ago for his first time all season, and he continues to catch 7 or 8 balls every single week. He's the only tight end in the NFL. He's caught at least 4 passes every game of the season. 4 catches, not targets, but catches.
Yeah.
In PPR, you can't ask for more consistency than that. And in week 15, week 16, 17 of the playoffs, you need consistency, especially at the tight end position. Evan Ingram's a very solid play right now.
Absolutely. He's been, like you said, he's been dominant, especially with Joe Flacco.
Quietly dominant all season.
Yeah. And Tooch has some familiar names here as well.
Yep. Got Trey McBride and David Njoku for all the same reasons. Bears terrible. The Achilles heel of the Bears defense is the tight end. Njoku, Texans bad against the tight end. They're bottom 5. And then Darren Waller versus Philadelphia. Philadelphia's pass defense is not good. Their run defense is elite. Their pass defense is not good. Give me Waller coming back off. You're looking for somebody. He's got a little something to prove at the end of this year. And, had a decent game last week, a little taste of what's to come, hopefully. So I'm going to take a little Darren Waller here.
Yeah, Tommy Cutlets is someone to throw to.
Yep.
He had 4 catches last week in his first game back.
Yeah. Got a great comment here from Sean and Reed. I'm out of the playoffs. Just want to tell you guys thank you so much for the season. Y'all are the best, and I've shared your video every week, so I hope it helped.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's,
Thank you,
fellas.
Sean.
Sean, we appreciate you, man, and everyone that's able to share our videos, and we thank you for the continued support all season long. And all
he's a Packers fan, though. Don't tell us that.
Oh,
P.S.
man.
You guys are pretty cool for Bears fans.
We love you anyways. Yep.
We do.
I guess
and
we won't hold
appreciate
that one against him, but
Yeah.
we won't hold it against you. And to Sean and all the men and women that serve our country, we thank you
God
for
bless.
your service as well. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all.
Yeah. Many more.
That's right. We got through tight ends. Let's get into defensive starts here. Adam, what do you got for your DSTs?
I got my Jets defense, man. I love playing the Jets defense. Last week they didn't get you a lot of points, but they didn't kill you either because it was a tough matchup versus Miami.
But before that, the few weeks before that, double-digit points.
They're destroying everybody. And even in the previous matchup versus Miami, they had double-digit points. They just shut receivers and quarterbacks down. So when you line them up against Sam Howell, which they say is starting again, I really love the sound of that. You could see a lot of turnovers. Sam Howell trying to force the ball in there on Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. I look for Jets to score a touchdown possibly in that one. And then I like the Packers versus Bryce Young in Carolina. The Packers aren't a big flashy defense, but they can rush the passer. Bryce Young has shown a great ability to take many sacks this year. He doesn't mind holding the ball and just swallowing it and going down. So I think they could get you some sacks, and we know Carolina's not going to score a lot of points. So again, it's a safer play where you're not going to get a 30-point output that's going to give you negative points against your defense. So Carolina's not going to do that. So, and then we all love the Bears versus Arizona. Bears defense has been great. Kyler Murray has been terrible throwing the ball thus far since he came back. I believe he's only got 4 touchdowns in 5 games. And he's just really rusty. And the Bears defense are taking advantage of everybody right now. So I love that matchup for the Bears. So Gaines, good luck with that one. I think it's a great play.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So great that Tooch also has the Bears. Shocker.
Yeah, I mean, look at the past few weeks of double-digit points for your defense.
Yeah.
Got Cincinnati versus Mason Rudolph. That's worth a play in my mind.
Yeah, I like
I'm starting them today.
So,
I like her.
Yeah.
We got Denver versus Bailey Zappi. I'll take a little stab on that one too. I think that'll be a low-scoring game. And then, of course, the Bears, man. Bears turnovers, touchdowns. You got to start them this week at home versus the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I'm along the same lines as you guys.
Yep.
I even cut off my last pick there on accident, but I got Bengals at Pittsburgh and Broncos versus New England, of course, and of course the Packers against Carolina for all the reasons that you guys already talked about. I mean, listen, those are all good matchups. I'm really hoping big things from the Bengals today against Mason Rudolph. I'm riding that train in my semifinal.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm playing against the guy that has Denver against New England, so both of our defenses are probably going to do well. But Godspeed. The fantasy gods must be kind to me today. I sure hope. Got a couple more questions here in the chat. The Joker's back with another question. QB's Dak. Running back CMC, running back 2 Kamara, who had a bit of a down game. Fortunately, I'm going against him. Only 8.5 points in our league. Waddle, Debo, Njoku, Swift.
I love Swift
Bears
this week, man, against
Santos,
the Giants.
His lineup, should I be in the? This is the week up. Should I be in the championship next week, boy? That's a good lineup.
So. Yeah.
It's a solid lineup.
Solid.
Obviously everyone wishes Kamara would have done better. I mean, the only reason I'm happy about it is because I was going against him in the semifinal. But
yeah, the guy was too.
The guy I was going against had Kyron Williams and he had Kamara. So between the two of them, only getting 30 points, I should count my blessings there. That could certainly have been a lot worse for me. So
love Kyron,
and Kyron's. This is more of a conversation for next season, but I think he's making himself in the conversation for first pick in fantasy drafts the way he's being used.
For sure. Him and Nakua were like waiver wire pickups of the year. Both of those guys,
Oh, for sure.
And my confidence in DeAndre Swift is really gone down the last
I know
month
he's
or
killed
so.
me in one of my leagues. He got me knocked out of the playoffs in one
Yeah.
league. So
Man, for
I
like,
like him today, man.
for like 10
Or
weeks,
tomorrow.
he was like the most consistent running back you could ask for. He was like 15 points a week, every single week, just 13, 14, 15 points every single week. And now it's like every time Jalen Hurts is falling in the end zone, DeAndre Swift's never getting the ball inside the 5-yard line. Kenneth Gainwell's out there on every third down. It's just like, what are we doing? And then there's this thing, they're playing the Giants. So apparently, if you look back at it, there's this history where Boston Scott gets tons of touchdowns versus the Giants. Every time they play the Giants, they give Boston Scott the carries at the goal line. Like it's some kind of like revenge thing, or there's something behind it. But Boston Scott eats them up. So I guess I'm getting out. Like I started DeAndre Swift almost all season, or I have all season. But I have Chuba Hubbard right now. Would you play Chuba Hubbard over DeAndre Swift?
no, not today.
I don't know, man. That's tough. I mean, the Packers.
Chuba Hubbard's got like 5 good weeks in a row.
Yeah,
I know he does.
he gets a heavy volume too.
That's where I'm like, man, I don't know.
I think you probably get about the same. I mean, the Packers haven't been that good against the run this season.
I mean,
Neither
everything
are
goes.
the Giants, though. But
Andre Swift's the better player, the better team, the better offense, but Chuba Hubbard's getting all the points right now.
The Eagles got their head between their legs the last couple of weeks. I think they're going to come out firing today. So I think you got to go today with Swift.
Yeah.
I got a great question here from Noah.
The Eagles
Noah
play
Nachinsky.
today? Are the Eagles today?
no, tomorrow. I
No,
think.
sorry. I'm so used to the games
Monday.
being on
Okay.
Sundays.
Okay.
It's weird doing a
Are
Saturday
they Monday?
show.
Yeah, that's a Monday.
That's
You're
a
right.
Monday game.
3:30, yeah.
Yep. Noah Nachinsky wants to know Aaron Jones, James Conner, or Ty Chandler start one. I'm going with the upside of Aaron Jones. He's got a great matchup against Carolina. I think he's going to be heavily featured in this game today. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I would take my chances there. Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I mean the Bears' run defense has been really good. So Connor's my least favorite of that list.
Yeah.
I like Chandler. He's going to get a lot of touches, but I mean Jones, like Adam said, this looked great last week.
And Carolina couldn't stop anybody these days.
They fell behind, against the Buccaneers, so they didn't run as much. But I think if the Packers want to win the game, they should run Jones.
I'm with you, man, 100%.
The coach doesn't like to run the ball, though, man. That's the thing with Green Bay.
Well, they're going to have to today.
Yeah.
But I was talking about how I between Kyron Williams and Kamara, I only got 30 points against me. I have James Cook and Jahmyr Gibbs. Do you think I can eclipse 30 points between those two?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
For some reason, Sleeper has me as like a huge underdog in this
Gibbs
game.
and who?
And James Cook.
Oh, I love Cook. Man, Cook is
James Cook might have 30 points himself.
Cook is my number one. I love the over 24.5 receiving yards prop today. I already bet that.
So I love that, man. I sure hope so.
It's just the goal line touches. That's what worries me about Cook.
James Cook has become that player we thought he'd be ever since they fired that offensive coordinator and switched.
Right. All year long, we're
Everything's
complaining
turned
like
around.
I drafted James Cook and they haven't used him.
And on the other
Finally.
side, Stephon Diggs has been. down.
Yep. I got another question here from Swans. Full PPR. I play Kyron on Thursday, so I need a running back one. Barkley or Mostert?
Mostert
for sure.
I mean, the Eagles' run defense is no joke, man. It's one
I
of the
think
best.
Barkley's a sit.
best
Yeah, that's what I
NFL.
was saying. I like the Eagles' defense this week. Their run defense is great. That's the strength of the Giants. Force DeVito to try to pass against you. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Mostert on the goal line. Who's getting the ball?
Yeah,
Mostert. It's
The
Mostert every
the
time.
Dolphins get down to the
he's got
inside
19 to 20
5.
touchdowns, leads the NFL.
inside the 5. It's
And
Mostert.
he said he needs 2 wide receivers and a flex. He's got Evans, Diggs, Pittman Jr., and whoever I don't use as RB1.
Evans for sure.
I'm playing Evans and Diggs.
I'd say
Yeah.
Evans, Diggs, and then he says
Evans
whoever
and
he
Diggs.
doesn't use as RB1.
I love Pittman Jr. Man, I don't know if he's like completely conscious after that hit he took last
I know they
week.
say he's going to play. I couldn't
I know.
believe that, but I'm like, geez,
I know.
that was horrible.
I mean, he said he's going to start whoever he doesn't use as RB1, but I'm not starting Barkley as a flex. I think I would if
play
I
the
have that, I
Steelers
think I would
defense.
go with all 3
Yeah.
wide receivers.
Yeah, I guess.
Evans, Diggs, and
Pittman, he's playing.
I mean,
so
I don't know. I think I would go with Barkley then over Pittman. I don't know. I mean the The Falcons have two really good cornerbacks.
I think Barkley has a game. I think
down.
Barkley has a game very similar to Kamara the other night.
Yeah, it could be. I just I don't. I mean, I don't like the matchup for Barkley, but you can't deny he's going to get touches.
No, for
You
sure.
know,
Sure.
yeah, goal line carry too. But I mean, DeVito runs too on the goal line too. That's what worries me.
Yep, and I'm going to dive in quickly into our sleeper
The
starts here.
The tush push. You know, I don't know about that.
Push.
They should outlaw that play. I mean, it's so illegal.
They're working on it. Getting into sleeper starts, I like Tucker Kraft today against Carolina. He's quickly been
he's so good, man.
A big part of that.
But what's his name is coming back? What's the other?
Musgraves comes back next week, right?
I think he's back this week. But I still like Tucker Kraft.
Well, Tucker Kraft has been, he's been heavily targeted. He's on the way up, and Carolina can't stop anybody. So great sleeper pick at tight end if you're in trouble with that position. Noah Brown, yes, he has a tough matchup against Cleveland, but he does have a good rapport with Case Keenum. So I could see Noah Brown going out there and having a touchdown game with around 80 yards. Great for a sleeper, great for a flex play. I think he could come through for you.
Different Cleveland Browns team on the road.
Yeah. And I like Najee Harris today against Cincinnati as a sleeper. Najee has looked better as of late. He might get a couple goal line carries, maybe get a touchdown. So, again, sleeper play, low expectations, but certainly has potential to have a touchdown or two today with all the goal line carries.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Adam? What do you got for your sleepers?
I had Zeke as one of them. I know he's a must start. Some people right now, which he is a must start, but he's not a name we've talked about all season really. So until the last couple of weeks, maybe. So that's why I put him in as a sleeper still, because a lot of people are like, "You really want to play Zeke Elliott right now?" Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably do, because he's going to get 25 touches probably, and
we have kind of the same here, don't we? Or we?
What's that?
I think you and me. I have two of the same sleepers.
Maybe so.
You do not, actually.
Nope. Oh, okay.
No.
I like those two, Zeke and Flacco.
Yeah, Flacco was the other one I think that you had as starts. I have him as
you
sleepers.
have Flacco, Tooch. Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Again, Flacco, just because who would have thought we'd be saying start Joe Flacco in the fantasy playoffs here, but here we are, and I think it's a great matchup. So you saw even last week when he struggled versus the Bears, he had 375 yards and multiple touchdowns, and for fantasy reasons, that's what works. So it might not look pretty, but he gets you there.
Yeah.
And then Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's been a really good player for Seattle the second half of the season. His targets kind of creep up each week. He had a huge touchdown catch last week.
Yeah.
Just an awesome catch, a fantastic pass, and that was just an awesome moment, really. I was so happy for Drew Lock. He was super emotional after that game, and just you could tell it was kind of the moment of his career there where it was just a great play. Jackson Smith and Jigba looks like a great player for the future for Seattle. I think he's going to kind of take over Tyler Lockett's job probably next year. So I like him. He's been a guy that's been on the waiver wire almost all season, off and on. People pick him up and play him 1 week and then drop him, pick him up and drop him. So he's been a good player. I like him as a sleeper if you need somebody.
Killer choices there. Definitely some sleepers that could help you down the stretch. And Tooch, you have Flacco as well, but two other interesting names.
Yeah, I like London's matchup versus Indianapolis. He's been getting a little more action. And then Flacco, of course. Yeah, who would have thought? And then Dontavian Wicks, man. This guy's been, he looks good, man. And, Christian Watson, questionable. Jaden Reed's also banged up. Jordan Love got to throw to somebody. So
love it, man. All great picks here. And we got a couple questions that popped up from CCE. Pick 2, it's JSN. Jackson Smith and Njima.
Yep.
Lockett, Jacoby, Brandon Cooks.
Man, that's pretty tough. You got to use 2 of those.
For me, I'll take JSN and Jacoby Myers.
I think I'll go JSN and Cooks. Just because I trust the quarterback more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'll go JSN and Cooks. Dallas, I think, is going to throw the ball a lot today. And same question, CE's got another add-on. He said, thoughts on playing both Mixon and Chase Brown today. Only other running backs I have are Rico, Dowdle, Zamir.
Ouch.
Jacobs is out. I'm not playing both Mixon and Chase Brown. I think I would go Mixon and Zamir because I think Zamir is still going to get some carries today.
I mean,
I don't know what you guys
Rico
think.
Dowdle gets a lot of touches, man.
That's who
I
I
was
was going to
surprised,
say.
man.
Play
I was
Mixon and Dowdle.
I think I would too. Yep.
I mean, assuming Jacobs is playing. If Jacobs was out, then Zamir White would be the play. But if Jacobs is going to play, then I'm with Tooch, Mixon, and Rico Dowdle has gotten quite a few touches. It seems more than you want most of the time, more than you want. A lot of games, you're like, why is he still in the game? And,
I know.
he looks good. He's kind of like Jalen Warren. He looks dynamic when he gets the ball.
Yeah, he's shifty, man. I mean, I had like a bet. I think I played like Tony Pollard over rushing yards. It was like Dowdle had like 2 or 3 series in a row. I'm like, where the hell's Pollard? You know,
he seems to break the plays like Pollard used to for Zeke. Dowdle does that for Pollard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mixon and Dowdle, unless if Jacobs is in, then it's Mixon and Jacobs.
Yeah, I think I agree. And obviously, keep an eye on that. If Zamir gets to start, then he's thumbs up for sure. Noah wants to know Tyler Boyd or Devontae Smith.
So Devontae Smith did not practice yesterday. He's got a knee injury. So for me, it'd be Tyler Boyd. At least I know he's going to suit up. And I think that game is Monday?
That's Monday night, so you're screwed if he doesn't play.
Yeah, I mean, if Devontae Smith doesn't play, I don't know what you're gonna do. You know,
who's a backup for Smith? Because I'm going against the guy that has Devontae Smith, and I'm thinking about picking up another wide receiver, so he can't pick him up.
Quez Watkins.
It's like Quez Watkins. Yep.
I think Watkins would be the guy, right?
I would be playing Boyd over Devontae Smith. Aside from I think he's going to play as far as injury goes. He was just rested. I think they said it's kind of just a maintenance thing, keeping him healthy, but. The key with Devontae Smith is Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert's back. Devontae Smith does not get the targets and the points you want when Dallas Goedert's playing. They split the targets there. Yeah. So the key for Devontae Smith is Goedert being out, and he's money in the bank. Other than that, I'd take Tyler Boyd.
Jamar Chase is out, so Tyler
Do you guys think if you were doing this is a tactical question? I'm going against the guy that has Devontae on Monday. Would you guys drop, for instance, I don't know, say a Tucker Kraft or or somebody else in place of picking up Quez Watkins?
I'd have to know who else. I wouldn't draft Tucker Kraft.
So I have two defenses. I have the Bengals defense, who I'm starting today against Pittsburgh, and then I'm holding on to the Rams defense for next week against the Giants. But would you drop the Rams defense, or would you drop I got Geno Smith as my backup QB. I've got Brock Purdy.
Who's your tight end?
McBride.
I'd drop.
And then I have Kraft as my backup.
I'd drop Kraft.
Tucker Kraft or Geno Smith drop for me.
Yeah.
I've got Chase too, because I don't even know if Chase will be back for the championship next week or not, but I don't know if I can drop Chase.
Yeah, I wouldn't drop him. I would drop Geno Smith.
Adam, what would you do?
Kraft. I would drop Kraft. I don't think you have any need for him.
The guy
drop him now.
Yeah, it's either Kraft or Smith. Yeah.
You drop him now. Nobody else can even pick him up and use him this week. Anyway.
Who's Smith playing last week or next week?
And
is Smith still injured?
Well, he was active last week.
He's supposed to play this week. He's supposed to play.
I'm going to drop Kraft because I could probably get him back.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody
Watkins him this week, and you can probably
pick up Quez Watkins and stash him so the other guy can't pick him up.
That's what I just did, boys. I just did it.
Yeah, I would.
Kraft will probably have a good game this week, regardless, but nonetheless, it's all right. And plus, Musgrave is back, so that could certainly help my case in dropping him. CCE says it's all around tough, but
Thanks,
I appreciate the thought put into it. Much love. Guys earned a subscription. Appreciate that, CCE.
Subs. Yep.
Mash that like button, guys. We appreciate that very much.
Like button.
Did we get through all of our sleeper starts? I think
we have sits now?
Yep, we're getting into our sits. Tooch, I'll let you lead off.
Well, I'm sitting Eckler, but I mean, a lot of people can't sit him, so I understand that. Buffalo's defense has played really well lately. And then, like I said, Austin Eckler, if he has himself in fantasy, he might not play himself. But Austin Eckler, I mean, if you want to you shut down the run game and force Easton Stick to throw. So then Kyler Murray versus the Bears defense. I like that matchup. And then, like I said, I got Zay Flowers sitting versus the 49ers defense. Zay Flowers has been gimpy on the foot injury.
Yeah.
So it's a sit for me.
All good calls there. Adam?
I got Kyler as well.
Kyler too.
Yeah, I got Kyler as well. I mentioned that earlier. He's looked like crap since he's come back, especially passing the ball. He's not getting anything done with his arm really. Maybe some jump time yardage, and that's about it. Then Javonte Williams, man, he's been very disappointing for about a month.
Look at his last few games.
Yeah, right in the
40
middle.
or less
Like he was
yards.
about to take off, and he was looking good, and they were giving him the ball. Yeah. And then it just stops happening. It's like they stop giving him the valuable touches. They start running three guys in and out of there. Every other play, there's a different running back in. You just can't trust him right now. I think he's super talented and a great player, but it's a tough matchup for one. Bill Belichick's going to take away what you want to do. That Denver would love to be able to run the ball, so it's probably not going to happen. So he's on my bench. And then Terry McLaurin versus that Jets secondary. Howell's probably going to struggle versus them. Terry McLaurin's going to see a lot of Sauce Gardner in that game. I'm not playing any Washington Commanders players, honestly.
Yep.
I love that,
100% agreement.
All knowledge bombs that we keep
dropping. I had Javonte Williams, too, on mine. I just, for all the reasons.
So disappointing.
New England's great against the run. And then he has had 40 yards or less the past 3 weeks or something.
Every week, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Sports Spotlight, start one at wide receiver and one at flex. Chuba, Aaron Jones, Noah Brown, Palmer, Zay Flowers, Kittle, PPR. I think
Zay
Aaron
Flowers
Jones
is a sit.
Zay Flowers is a sit. Joshua Palmer is a sit. Aaron Jones for sure gets a start for me.
One wide receiver. I'll start Noah Brown.
You've only got Brown, Palmer.
Yeah. I'm not starting Palmer or Flowers.
I think it's Brown and Aaron Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so too.
I do like Kittle though too.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that's true. Kittle could be a PPR against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about Kittle at the end. I'm going Jones and Kittle.
I'll go Jones and Brown.
Well, I guess Jones. Yeah, you can't start Kittle as a
Brown.
Wide
it's
receiver,
either Jones or Kittle, so I'll take Jones too.
I'll do Jones and Brown.
I like Kittle's matchup this week.
Getting to my sits, I also have Eckler. I think he's going to get shut down today against Buffalo.
Yep.
Just not being used the way he was previously. Ravens defense today against the 49ers. I'm not starting them. I know they've been a great unit. I just have this hunch that the Ravens defense is going to give up negative points today. I think they might hurt your chances. So I'd much rather pick up a team like the Bengals against Pittsburgh this week or the Packers against Carolina. The Ravens have a good unit. I just think that this is going to be a higher scoring game than advertised. And I think the Ravens are going to hurt you if you start them. So I think you got to bench the Ravens. I know it's a hot take, but I think you got to do it. And then James Conner, the Bears are shutting down the running game. They really are. The Bears' run defense has been elite since they've made all those trades.
Yep.
James Conner, I don't think you can trust him in a semifinal week. So I'm having him ride the bench for me.
Love it.
We're still getting questions here. We're going to answer them here for another 10 minutes, and then we're going to get out of here. Debo, Montgomery, Pollard, DeAndre Hopkins, James Conner, Gus Edwards, start 3 in PPR.
Debo's a must start every week.
Yep.
Hopkins, I think, too.
I would say Pollard is also a PPR must start with the amount of catches he's getting out of the backfield.
Yeah, Debo and D-Hop are my top two. Then it's either Pollard or Edwards for me. But I'll take
Debo, Pollard, and Hopkins for me.
Yep, me too.
Yep, Debo, Pollard, Hopkins, 100%. Stamp it down. Feel good about
McBride
that.
or Kittle?
Yeah, that's the question we got here. I'm starting McBride over Kittle. I would say McBride.
I'm in McBride too. But it's going to be close.
I think McBride is
I'll McBride as well. Yeah, I agree.
The Bears are brutal against the tight end. So
always, man, for years. I mean,
I can't stop the tight end since I was born.
Especially if it's a critical moment.
Yeah. Bryce Barnes wants to know, start 1 running back, 2 flex, Swift, Edwards, Breece Hall, Odell, Nico, Parker, Washington.
Well, for me, it's either start running back to run. I mean, shit, I don't know, man. It's tough.
I don't think you can bench Swift. I still think you have to start him.
I think so too.
Especially this week.
Yeah.
I mean, Philly plays on Monday night.
I like
playing
Breece
against
Hall,
the Giants
too, man. This feels like a Breece Hall week against the Commanders, though.
I know, but Swift against the Giants, I think that's just a recipe for a huge day.
But like Adam says, though, Jalen Hurts gets those rushing touchdowns. You know?
I mean, I'm going probably Swift, Hall, and Odell.
I would agree. I think I'm going Swift, Hall, and Odell.
Yeah. Yeah, I go Swift, Hall, and Odell. I like Gus Edwards, though, too.
Wow, the chat's just blowing up. We appreciate everybody. The questions just keep pouring in. Jonathan, sit one, full PPR, Singletary, Chandler, Barkley. Barkley for me.
Sit for me.
Sitting one, yeah. I'm sitting Barkley. I'm scared of Barkley this week.
Yeah,
Barkley's only had like 2 or 3 good games all year, really.
Yeah. He had one game where he had 2 touchdowns. That's probably fresh in my memory, but
yeah, I think he's only had 2 games that he even scored rushing touchdowns in. Both of them were 2 touchdown games. So it happened all in those 2 weeks.
Singletary, I don't know. I don't think Singletary is that good.
Well, Barkley's
playing the Browns too, you know.
And
for me, it's Barkley.
Isn't it? Is it in Cleveland?
No, it's in Houston.
Yeah, they're on the road.
Okay, Cleveland's not nearly as good on the road of their defense, but Singletary, like last week, I mean, they basically benched Dameon Pierce last week after he scored a touchdown the week before.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
I don't like the two. They could play Pierce this week, though. I don't know.
Right.
You know, I don't like the doubt, but hey.
And we're getting lit up with questions, so we're gonna hammer through these.
Yeah, hammer through.
Monty, Aaron Jones, or Ty Chandler sit one. Honestly, I think it's Monty today. I don't think he's gonna be the guy.
Yeah,
guys.
I agree.
I'm sitting Monty.
Yeah, me too.
Full PPR. Need a flex out of Chandler, Pittman,
Minnesota's
or Hall.
run defense is good.
Yeah. Flex here. I mean, Pittman's got a great matchup today.
Yeah, if he's playing, I'm going to go Pittman. He's been super good all year. And he was off to a great start when he got hurt the other day.
That's tough, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Pittman's healthy, you got to go Pittman. After that, it's pick one.
Yeah, Pittman says he's playing, so we'll see. I'd say I'd go Pittman. JC, Garrett Wilson, or Jordan Addison?
Who's the quarterback in New York Jets?
I don't think they know.
Yeah, I think it's Trevor Siemian, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Simeon, yep.
Yeah, but I'd go Addison regardless.
I'm going Addison too.
Yep.
Jets defense against the Commanders or Packers versus Panthers. I'm going Packers here.
I don't know. It's close. I don't think it matters.
I'm taking the Jets versus Sam Howell.
Yeah. I think it's closer than it is, but I think you're going to be fine either way.
Yeah, either way, it's good. Probably close.
Thanks, and lastly, Fields or Purdy?
Yeah.
Fields for me.
Oh man, I don't know how you make this decision.
Yeah,
no one's been hotter than Brock Purdy.
Fields' matchup is so good, man. But
the thing with Purdy just gets it so easily.
Yeah.
I saw a stat the other day that said he was second in yards and 31st in attempts. So everything's after the catch. Everything's yards after the catch.
Yeah, short throws, yak.
Yeah, where Debo and these guys are just running 50 yards with them all.
Yeah.
But I would play Fields over him, I think.
So would I. You have the rushing upside.
I'm going to be the outlier. I'm going to say Purdy just because of the offensive weapons around him.
Honestly, if it's a matchup where you're favored or it's really close, I would play Purdy. If I'm the underdog, I'm going Fields.
There you go. And we have an interesting question we haven't had in a while. Individual defensive players. If you had to pick one out of these guys, and again, man. Sweat has been playing well, but Mac has been getting sacks too.
Yeah.
I lean towards Sweat because he's just been absolutely on fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bears defense or Packers defense? I'm going to go Bears just because they've had the turnovers lately.
Yep, I agree.
But the Packers defense should have a good time this weekend.
I honestly think these defenses are going to perform very similarly today. So I honestly think it's a wash, but
Yeah.
I would lean Bears by like a smidge. If Fields gets an elite O-line and coach who's decent, he'll be a problem in this league. I agree with that.
I've been asking for that for a while.
I feel like the O-line, I don't think it's that far away. I think it's
They've been injured, man. They've been injured.
Exactly. They've been injured. We've got a few really good players there with Tevin Jenkins and Darnell Wright are very good.
The offensive coordinator for the Bears can't coordinate an offense.
No. I'm a little concerned that Eberflus has saved his job with how well the defense has played, but
yeah.
Getsy's the guy that's got to go.
Getsy has to go. Eberflus, I think you're going to see the same thing you saw this year next year with Eberflus. And then Eberflus doesn't he should have kicked the field goals a few times last week. It would have had maybe 3 or 6 extra points last week.
I think
Cost
Flus
us
needs
the
to go
game.
too, but we'll see. I doubt it.
Cost us the game.
Great question here.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. I'll just say great question here from Tyler. One that you didn't think anyone would ever ask in the history of the world, but yet here we are. Lamar Jackson against the 49ers or Baker in a killer matchup. Tampa Bay, am I drawing a blank who they're playing? I know this in my head. Tampa Bay is going up
at
against
home
Jacksonville.
Baltimore's on the road at San Francisco. I'll take Baker.
This is tough.
I know that Baker's going to get me 18 to 22, something like that, 18 to 24 in this matchup against the Jags.
The guy I'm playing today in the semifinal has both of these guys, and he's starting Lamar.
I'll stick with Lamar.
Lamar's just been so good. It's just hard to bench him.
And
I know
49ers defense.
I know.
But yeah, I hear you.
Tough question. Again, we tell this to a lot of people. You usually ride your studs into the playoffs, and Lamar has certainly been that and more.
Yep.
Remember about halfway through the season, Detroit was like considered one of the top defenses, and they were 7-1. And Baltimore went to Detroit and beat them 30-something to 0. Just Lamar just absolutely hammered them. So I know San Francisco's defense is great. I'm not saying they're not, but Lamar can get you points.
He certainly can. We got a great tight end question here from Bryce Barnes.
It's just
Can I start Kincaid or do I
49ers, both those teams are 1-2 versus the quarterback, Niners and Ravens.
Yeah.
The Niners allowing 13.86 fantasy points per game, and Ravens 13.43 fantasy points per game.
But it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Bryce wants to know, can I start Kincaid this week, or should I play someone like Hunter, Henry, or
Is Henry healthy? Wasn't he injured after last week's game?
I don't know.
I mean, he's got a tough
I wouldn't
matchup.
play Kincaid, though. I would not play Kincaid.
I think I'd go with a guy like Tucker Kraft today, honestly. He's been great the last 3 weeks.
The Broncos are the worst team versus the tight end in the NFL, allowing the most fantasy points to the tight end. So, I mean, for me, it's Hunter Henry, but Kincaid is going against the Chargers. They're up there. They're 23rd worst.
He's directly splitting time with Dawson Knox now again, though.
Yeah.
As soon as Knox came back 2 weeks ago, Kincaid has done nothing hardly.
And the Panthers are not that great against the tight end either, but they're better than the they're actually, of the three, the Panthers are the best defense versus the tight end. So for me, it's Hunter Henry.
I mean, Tucker Kraft over the last 3 games has averaged 5 targets a game.
He's been good. What about Henry?
I'm going to pull it up right now.
Henry's been the top target for Zappy.
Hunter Henry, let's see. He is. Oh wow, he had 9 targets last week.
Yeah,
I'm going. I changed my mind. I'm going Hunter Henry against Denver.
The Broncos are worst team, number 32 overall versus the tight end.
Yeah, and Hunter Henry's been really, really good. And with the 9 targets last week against a good KC
I just
defense,
don't know, is he playing Hunter Henry? That's the thing.
He looks like he's active.
He's questionable.
I'm sorry, he's questionable. You're right.
Yeah. He's got a knee injury. He didn't practice on Wednesday or Thursday, but he limited practice on Friday, so should play on tomorrow night.
If he plays, I think you go with Henry.
Yeah. If Henry's
and if Henry's out, then you pick up Mike Gesicki, I think.
Good call, Joe. I love that.
Because Gesicki's his backup, and he'll probably get some action in that game if he doesn't play. So that's what I would do.
Good call.
If Nico plays Adam, would you start him over Sutton?
What is Nico? Is he questionable?
Yes.
I think I'd play Sutton.
I think Sutton's going to have a better day, regardless.
I just don't like the Houston quarterback.
Yeah, limited practice this week, but
yeah, that's a tough one to go. But I think I'm still going Sutton. Sexy Jerry says Fields and CJ are my top 2 quarterbacks in a Superflex dynasty. I need Fields to show out this week. I have Keenan and CJ out. Fields, I don't think you're going to have a problem there. I think Fields is going to show out this week. So, Cade Otton or Pat Freiermuth?
I'd go Freiermuth.
Stroud is injured, right?
Yes. Stroud is out officially.
Out officially. So we got Cade Otton or Pat Freiermuth.
Baker loves Otton, but I think they're closer than we think. But I think Freiermuth by an edge, by a smidge.
Mason Rudolph might lean on the tight end a little bit.
Yep.
Bengals are second worst versus the tight end, so give me Freiermuth.
Yep. Bengals are horrible versus tight ends.
Yep.
Tyler says, thanks, guys. Got one more. San Francisco or Dallas or Seahawks D, then Jacobs, A-Chain, or Kittle in a flex spot.
Jacobs, if he's playing, if not Kittle, in your flex. San Francisco, Dallas, or Seahawks D. I'll take the 49ers.
That's tough. I don't know. I kind of like the Seahawks this week.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning on that Seahawks defense also. That's first Tennessee, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And Ryan Tannehill is playing.
Is it? I thought it was Levis. It's not Levis?
Levis is hurt, I think.
Oh.
I'm
give me
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Tannehill's playing. I'm pretty positive.
I would say if it's Will Levis, I'm not starting the Seahawks.
Levis took a beating last inning.
Tannehill is horrible.
Yeah, that's what he's not going to be a big threat with a bunch of yardage or anything. I think I kind of like that.
Yep, give me the Seahawks then.
I'll say Seahawks. I'm going to say Seahawks D and Kittle because I think Jacobs, even if he does go, might be a little banged up, and I think this could be a big Kittle game. And he says, yeah, I agree. I need anything I can get in these semis playing Hill, Hurts, and Debo. Oh, that's tough. But, hey, man, good luck to you. Good luck to the fantasy players. We are at the end of the show, guys. We're going to answer. If you can get a question in here quickly, we'll get it done.
Yeah, last one.
Jerry says last one, Brees or Chuba. I can't even talk. Chuba Hubbard. I can't talk.
I think Chuba for me.
Chuba has been impressive. I would agree with that.
Yeah, Packers are not good versus the run.
Yeah,
I think Chuba Hubbard's going to have a good day again. I mean, we talked about him earlier. He's been performing really well over the last month.
Look at the Panthers' offense. Their offensive script is give the ball to Chuba.
Yeah, and even when they're behind, it's give the ball to Chuba or throw it to Chuba.
Yep.
So,
well, that's great. Appreciate everyone that the chat has been. Oh, one more. I'm playing against Tyreek. We don't know is the short answer. He practiced this week. It sounds like he's trending towards playing based off of what McDaniels has said.
Unless he's late, like I said, late to the game, handing out presents to all the kids he has with all those baby mamas.
Yeah, he's not real good at suiting up their sexy kids.
Right? He's got to change.
Playing, he might play in the game. I don't know.
The change from the Santa costume into his Dolphins uniform.
I tend to think he's going to give it a go. They really need him. He wants to hit the 2,000 yards, and they need to win. So,
have you guys watched the Miami in-season Hard Knocks?
I have not, but I heard it's great.
Well, like what's funny about this whole thing with him having all these kids is like on this show they've made a point that he just got married a few months ago.
Yeah,
he just got married this season to this woman, and she's at all the games and everything, and he's always handing her the footballs when he scores and everything. And then this week it comes out he's got all these kids this year, and I'm like. Dude just got married like 3 months ago, and he's married. He married the wife of the former Saints safety Kenny Vaccaro. You guys remember him? He was a really good safety for a long time for the Saints. Wow. It's his sister.
Yeah, he's got
that's nuts.
All those little cheetahs running around, Adam.
Yeah, all over the place. Apparently,
there's a pack of them. That's for sure. Guys, it's been a hell of a show. We're getting everybody ready for their semifinal. We'll be back to talk fantasy championships next week. Man, I can't wait to see what happens here. And before we get back, it's going to be I'm wishing all of our viewers, our listeners, a very Merry Christmas. And it's crazy that we are going to be back. Well, I guess we haven't decided yet, but I think maybe we'll try to do a show on next Saturday again on the 30th as opposed to New Year's Eve. But stay tuned to social media for that. We'll let you guys know.
Saturday games next weekend?
Yeah, I think there is again. I'm fairly certain. Let me pull up the schedule real quick. And what's next week? Week 17 next week?
17.
Yes, we do have Saturday games. We have
one Saturday game. Yep.
It's Lions, Cowboys. So I think we'll
probably games New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we'll probably lean towards doing a show.
No New Year's Day shows, huh? Yeah, no Monday Night Football next week. Yeah, no.
I don't think so. I think they're doing them all on New Year's.
One more left.
Oh, New Year's Eve, is it?
We'll probably do a show next Saturday. I think as long as you guys are all free, we'll talk about it this week. But it'll either be again Saturday morning or Sunday morning. So stay tuned. But appreciate everyone. Wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas. We thank everybody that was able to tune in and get all the questions in. Super active day in the chat. Super large amount of people. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Tooch and Adam, before we get out of here, I'm very grateful, eternally grateful to you guys to be able to do the show with me every week during fantasy season. So I'm very thankful, and I appreciate the heck out of you guys.
Thank you, Joe. Same to you, buddy. We appreciate you and all the work you put in every week and all season long. And I know it means a lot to you, and it means a lot to me to be here every week. I'm sorry I missed the last couple.
Hey, it happens, man. It's all good.
I hope you and family and the little girl have a great Christmas. Well, this is her second Christmas, right?
This will be her second, but the first one with a personality. So I'm excited.
Yeah, nice. She kind of knows what's going on a little bit. So
yeah.
Yep. Well, man, you guys all the same to you, Tooch. I'm glad you're feeling better and on the uptick there.
Merry Christmas, boys.
Yep.
That's the last minute Christmas shopping. Barfly tailgate tomorrow. Talking Bears Cardinals with the gang, and then heading out for Christmas Eve Mass at the church.
Nice.
So,
and then you got Bear football, of course, during halftime and post game.
Yeah,
and all the Bears.
It's an afternoon game too. It's a 3:00 game, I think, tomorrow, right?
I believe that is the case. Yes,
3:30 or something.
So tune in for that.
Nice.
We thank everybody for tuning in and giving us all these great questions. I know I mentioned at the top of the show, we thank friend of the show, Steven Zimmerman, for filling in for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And for our end credits today, he has a pop punk band called Sell Me Short.
Yeah.
And in the end credits today, we're going to feature their Christmas song called All I Want for Christmas is Pizza, a Pop Punk Christmas. So check that out. You can find them on Spotify under Sell Me Short. So with that said, for Fantasy Football Goon, I'm Joe Mandel. That's John Santucci the Tooch, and Adam Schaum, the man with the plan, is at the bottom of your screen.
Oh, last question though.
Oh, he snuck one in. All right, we'll answer it. Yeah. We'll answer it, Calvo, because you snuck it in. What's up, fellas? DK or Higgins this week?
DK.
You got to go with DK. I mean, the guy's just been elite.
Yep.
Appreciate you sneaking a question.
I like Higgins though. I think Higgins will do good today, but
I like them both, but DK is unbenchable at this point.
Yep.
Appreciate the last minute question. Gonna get in at the wire.
Yep.
But for Fantasy Football Goon, I'm Joe Mandel. That's John Santucci the Tooch. And with the Christmas tree is Adam Schaum, the man with the plan. We will see you guys next week. And as always, God bless America. God bless football. And let's kick some ass. Check out Steven Zimmerman's band, Sell Me Short, and their Christmas song, All I Want for Christmas is Pizza, featured in our ending credits. See you guys next week as we take you to the promised land and the fantasy championship. Go Bears.